The film begins with an ant island. There is a big ant colony. Here we notice that she is an old aunt who has two daughters. One is Princess Atta and the second is Dot. Dot is too young and wishes to learn flying. The big responsibility upon Atta is forthcoming because she is the next queen to be. Here all the ants were hoarding food. All were collecting food for grasshoppers because they rule over them and they have to collect food for them. Here we are introduced to an ant named Flik who loves to undergo different experiments, but his experiments are not quite fruitful for others. They are even quite harmful. This time Flix makes an instrument from enormous food could be stored. Along with this, he makes a telescope that he presents to Atta. She considered it unless the directs Flix to go out. Simultaneously, she comes to Flick and tells him that she has a lot of expectations from his instruments. One day there will be fruitful for us. Later on, an alarm starts to ring which indicates the arrival of grasshoppers. All the ants rush toward their houses in fear. Everyone leaves but Flix, because of his heavy instrument, leaves behind. He goes along with his machine so he could keep his food with hoard food. But because of his machine, a stone falls down and all of his food glide into the water. Here we notice these ants makes a deal with grasshoppers that they collect enormous food twice in a year. In return, grasshoppers would save them from giant insects. All the ants were waiting in the colony for grasshoppers to take their food and leave. But when grasshoppers do not get the food, they furiously get into the colony. Later on, they warn if they do not collect food, they will ruin their colony, not they will protect you. Now, in return, you will have to hoard twice the food. Now the old queen appears and declares they could not as it is about to rain and they have not hoard food for themselves. Now the grasshoppers warn her that he will come again at the end of the season when the last leaf would fall. Till then, if you could not hold double food, they will call off the treaty and leave after. They accuse Flick responsible for all this. Because of him, all the food wasted. For punishment, the Flick is called and he has an idea. If they could make a deal with bugs, if they protect them from grasshoppers. For this, they have to go outside from the colony. This means suicide because out of doors, there are a lot of birds and animals which could eat ants. No one is ready here for this. Later on, Flix announces that he will go himself and carry out bugs for protection. The rest of the ants consider it a good idea to get rid of Flick. Either he bring out bugs or not, but he will go and this would be better. Later on, Flix packs his luggage and goes to see Dot and his friends join. Dot was hopeful that he will succeed in his mission. Now we notice Bug City which is built under the trailer city. Here different kind of bugs exist. Few of the bugs have arranged a circus which is not working for a long time. For this reason, the owner of the circus fires them out of the job. Flick when reaches, he becomes thrilled to see this world, that this is a separate world. Later on, he begs for help from huge bugs, but no one bothers him nor listens to him. On the other side, the terminated bugs from the job are sitting sadly because they lost their job and does not know how to for each and other job. Engrossed in the thoughts, a few bugs come to tease them. Meanwhile, they start to fight. This is another reason, but Flick considers them fight bugs that could protect him. Flick goes to them and pleads for help. Other bugs considered without listening to him, agrees with him thinking he might offer them a job. They are going toward the colony where all the ants are busy in hoarding food. They have to collect the double amount of food for grasshoppers. Here Dot notices with the help of an telescope that Flick at a distance are coming with bugs. He does not believe that he is back. As they land, the rest of the ants secretly start to notice whatever is going on. They consider them dangerous giant bugs, but Flick introduces them to bugs. All the ants become happy to see bugs that they will save from grasshoppers. Atta becomes impressed with Flix and Flix that how he has brought such enormous bugs with him. They arrange a party at night in which the tiny ants demonstrate them that how these bugs have to fight with grasshoppers. There is a possibility of dying bugs. Here all the bugs become worried that this is not a job, rather a fight. Here everyone is impressed with Flix and thanks to him because he has eased their difficulty. Here Flix is thinking. Bugs whispers in his ears that they are not fighter bugs but circus bugs. Listening to this, Flix becomes worried. He takes them separately by claiming a secret meeting. He tries to convince them, but they don't agree and say that they are not for the fight they are going. When they are going, Flix sticks with one of them. Dot notices them and starts to chase Flick by swimming with a big flower. When bugs notice Flick sticking with them, they wing down to get rid of Flick. Here Flick claims a sparrow nest. He runs with fear get that there is a bird that would eat them. The bird comes and runs after them to eat them. Here's Dot is also flying with the flower in the air. Now the bird comes near to eat it. Dot with panic leaves the bird is and about to fall down. From the distance, Island ants notice him but could not help him. Before bugs fall down, a ladybug from these bugs comes and holds him. Afterward, the birds start to chase them and they both hide in a crack of earth. Ladybugs during landing enters the crack completely. The bird tries to eat them. Flik has an idea. He tries to take the bird's attention by lifting a caterpillar. The bird then notices leave and start to chase them. Later on, Flik tries to bring out them with the help of giant bugs and bring out Ladybug and Dot. They hide in the nearby bushes where the birds cannot get in because of thorns. Similarly, they all are saved and become here in front of all the ants. Ants medicate the Ladybug. Later on, Atar tells Flik that she is a queen to be and afterward they have to get rid of grasshoppers. Here Flik has an idea that grasshoppers are as much afraid of birds as they are. He suggested a bug to make an artificial bird and to hide in a nearby plant. Flik suggested to Atar. Later on, all the ants agree. In the next scene, we notice how they together make an artificial bird. In the end, it seems like a real bird that they hide in a hole of the tree so they could use in need. Next, we notice grasshoppers colony where they have started to take work from mosquitoes. Here, the leader of the grasshoppers brother is shown who is stupid. His friends suggested to him that they have already plenty of stored food, that they do not need to go to the ants colony. He agrees and says that he will talk to the leader. Later on, he goes to his brother and asks that they do not need to go to the leader. The leader becomes furious and states that in the unity of ants there is a strength. It was stop to fighting. If we stop to frighten them, they will neither frighten nor work for theirs in future. And he does not want to, so we have to keep to frightening them and take work from them. Later on, they leave for the ant colony. On the other side, we notice how ants are celebrating happily. They are quite happy that finally they will get rid of them. Flik states to giant birds if they want to go they may because all the work is done. Afterward, the giant bugs negate to go and decide to stay with the ants. Here they notice a sound in the distance. They see a light and they suppose that the grasshoppers are coming. All the ants become ready to fight that if the grasshoppers come they will have to fight. But here are not grasshopper but the circus bugs. Their owner wants to take them back to the circus. When they know that they are not fighter bugs but circus bugs, they become nervous that they have made a mistake to believe Flik they could not save us from grasshoppers. They only work at a circus. Along with the queen, all the ants become furious that how they have believed Flik and how on their trust they were about to fight grasshoppers. After this, Atta asks Flik to go and never come back. Later on, the queen orders everyone to collect food as much they can because grasshoppers would kill us like this. The last leaf falls too and they realize that grasshoppers are about to come. When grasshoppers come, they notice no food and the leader becomes angry. Afterward, they start to take some ants in their occupation. Here, ants hide their tiny ants in their club. Here, Dot listens to the leader saying that he will kill the queen after taking food. Listening to this, Dot becomes confused and begs for help. He collapses with the grasshoppers and he starts to chase. While running from grasshoppers, she tries to fly but because of fragile wings he could not. He reaches a stone under that there was a tunnel. Later on, the grasshopper comes and pulls it down toward the tunnel and she falls down. Grasshoppers consider him dead. After his departure, Dot starts to fly. She reaches toward Flik and tells him everything. Afterward, Flik considers him responsible for all this. Because of him, ants are suffering. He becomes sad and is not confident that he could help. Afterward, all the bugs suggest Flik to help the ants. Flik agrees. They know the owner of the circus would not allow him to go. A spider bug imprisons him. They take the owner's bus and reaching there they notice how they have tied Atta and Queen separately. And he makes a plan to ask the other bugs to take the van toward the leader and conduct a circus to entertain them so they could divert their attention. It happens the same. While circus they free Atta and the queen. On the other side, Flik along with other ants reach toward the bird. Ants, queen and Atta notice Flik reach toward the bird. Later on they release the bird so it could frighten them all. When the leader knows Atta and queen missing, he becomes furious. When they notice birds, there is chaos everywhere. All the ants pretend as it is a real bird. They act like they're fearing. One of the grasshopper kindles the bird and the secret reveals as it was not real. When Flik comes out, leader becomes furious that how he tried to befool them. He beats Flik and thinks to kill him to set an example in front of everyone that if someone teases them, they have to get a lesson. Flik gets up and tells us that we ants are united. answered, "If we all come together, you would not rule over us." When the leader looks around, he looks numerous ants. He comes terrified a little. After a while, rain starts and the ants start to run. Taking advantages of this, the leader takes Flick and goes. The bugs start to run after to escape Flick, but there is a lot of bushes in the way. Suddenly, Atta comes and saves Flick. They go down. Flick has another idea. He asks Atta to take him toward the nest of the same bird. Atta leaves him and a grasshopper appears and a bird comes, but he does not bother because he considers it is an artificial bird. This bird holds a grasshopper and feeds him to her children. There is a sunny day. Atta becomes queen and Atta and Flick becomes a couple. Flick with his experiment helps other ants and their colony becomes fine. The bugs leaves and the brother of leader grasshopper joins them too. And this lovely movie ends here. Stay with us, stay connected, and thanks for watching.